So they charge us 50, we charge them 50. Right now, they'll charge us 50, we charge them nothing. Doesn't work. So that's called a reciprocal tax or mirror tax, and we're going to be doing a lot of that.
Yeah, I think these tariffs are an absolute disaster for the United States.
Quantify for us what exactly disastrous means for the industry.
So the problem with putting steel tariffs on the upstream part of the steel industry is that there are tens of millions of jobs downstream of basic steel, and there's only about 80,000 jobs in the steel industry. So you're putting at risk all of the downstream steel buyers and users if you put tariffs on the upstream products.
President Trump's top economic advisor, Gary Cohn, has just resigned.
Hope Hicks, White House Communications Director, is resigning today.
Rex Tillerson is out.
H.R. McMaster, his national security advisor, is out.
This year's Arctic winter, however, is unusually warm. Temperatures have risen to over 36 degrees above normal, and sea ice has started melting. A theory known as warm Arctic cold continents suggests that as the polar vortex becomes unstable, warm air is taken in and cold air expelled.
Well, it is the first day of spring, but tens of millions of people are bracing for the fourth nor'easter in a month. Winter storm watches, warnings, and advisories are in effect from North Carolina to Massachusetts.
Walkouts across the country as a suspect appears in court in Florida. Hundreds of thousands of high school students left schools for at least 17 minutes, 1 minute for each of the people killed in Parkland 1 month ago today.
The walkout is being hailed by a ruling class as an act of moral bravery, but of course students do not act independently, brave as they may be. They can't act independently.
Like, what we're fighting for will happen because we're fighting so strongly for it, and we expect it to happen now. And with those expectations, we're going to vote out the people who aren't acting.
They've been calling you two superheroes. They've been calling your group superheroes. Do you feel that?
I don't think we're superheroes. I think we're what every American should be. We're people that are standing up and becoming politically active in our democracy in our own way.
Now, whether you like the kids or like what they're saying, and you may, but you should be opposed to this because kids should not be used to advance political agendas. But that seems dishonest.
There is no budging on either side in West Virginia's teacher strike. Every public school in the state will be closed tomorrow for a fourth day.
Teachers in other parts of the state going on strike, but will educators in Oklahoma City do the same?
This is an issue that affects teachers throughout the country, and now it is spread to Kentucky.
500,000 people from all corners of the country will flood the Capitol to say they've had enough of gun violence.
The March for Our Lives rally is being organized by students who survived the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. 14 of their classmates and 3 school staff members were killed in last month's attack, and since then, student activists have been calling for stricter gun control measures.
Today, they're hoping their message will be amplified at a rally that runs straight through the nerve center of the nation's leadership.
And we're told that each march is basically student-led. But did students really organize all of this in the 5 weeks since the Florida shooting? Let's look into who's really behind this with Washington Free Beacon reporter Stephen Gutowski. Stephen, great to see you. This is just a bunch of kids having fun and doing what's right in a time where we need to say enough is enough.
Yeah, certainly that's the media narrative on this, but the reality is that that's not true.
Today is the beginning of spring, and tomorrow is the beginning of democracy. Now is the time to come together, not as Democrats, not as Republicans, but as Americans. Americans of the same flesh and blood that care about one thing and one thing only, and that's the future of this country and the children that are going to lead it.
And, you know, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, without a vision, the people perish.